Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 17, which is from company Legit Interior. We'll conduct in a project handover scope, and we are our team from Muhammad Azziq bin Omar, and number 2 Shuib Bin Sulaiman, and lastly is me, Amiza Binti Muhammad Ali. So we go the first presenter.
Okay, first is the mobilization project. The mobilization is the picture of contractor personnel and contract equipment from the workplace upon completion assignment or suspension or termination or service by the company. The mobilization also resource such as staff and worker. It includes all activity and cost for transportation of personnel, equipment, and supplier. There are 4 responsibility of company in the mobilization project. First is planning section. It's about information. Second is operation section. It's about identify and communicate access. Third is logistic section, is about personal equipment. Last finance administrator section is about completion of personnel and equipment time report. Then next we go to certificate of practical completion, CPC. CPC is certificate of practical completion is issued by the architect. It's also include meeting all the supporting document from the relevant authority from the application of CF. CPC also approve that contract has complete the work and it for contractor to claim the payment. There are 5 implication in certificate of practical completion. First is any right to liquidate damage in respect of delay to the worker. Employer must pay percentage of any retention. It usually 50% to the contractor. Third, contractor administrator may not instruct to the contractor to carry out variation after practical completion. 4 is defectibility period. Last is risk of loss or damage to the work unusually transfer from the contractor to the employer. Okay, next.
Next is a certificate of practical non-completion, which is a CNC. CNC means as construction delay and extension of time, which is the contract. The contract manager will issue an incomplete notice if the contractor fails to meet the agreement upon practical date, and the client is entitled to indemnification. The contractor is given notice in letter that work set out in contract has not been completed by the last agreed upon completion date. So they have 2 of delay, which is 1 delay by contractor. Second is a delay causing by third party. Delay by contractor, for example, not having enough worker on site, not having necessary material when needed, poor project handling, or is failed to pay worker or subcontractor. And the delay caused by third party is cause of natural disaster causing by pandemic such as COVID-19. So by this delay, it doesn't qualify as the contractor or the employer faults. So they must have take their own responsibility. So based on our interview, based on a legit interior company information, which is if the reason for not being able to prepare the building is due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the contractor will be given additional time to prepare the buildings. But if the building cannot be complete because of contractor faults, such as a lack of employees, the contractor will be penalized or be charges. Next. So this is an example of CNC. Next. So we continue with defect liability periods, which is DLP. DLP is defined as a period of time given to the clients after building is completed for the purpose that in case of damage, the contractor is responsible for repairing any damage. So in general terms, defect or defective work is where the standard and quality of workmanship and materials as specified in the contract is deficient. So they have a 4 type of defects, which is first patent defects. Patent defects that can be discovered by a normal examination or testing. And second is a latent defect, which is a defect that's not discovered by normal examination or testing, which manifests itself after a period of time. Third is construction defects, which is defects arising from poor workmanship or defective materials. And fourth is user's damage, which is damage due to incorrect operating by user. So we continue to the Amiza, the third presenter.
So next is a completion as-built drawing and record. Every construction project requires as-built drawing to track changes that have taken place from the original building plan. It's one of the important things in the process of construction, renovation, and maintenance. Building drawing information needs to be known before starting a project and is need to record when added or remove any structure. In order to have complete and useful as-built drawing, it is important to include any changes to the following element, which is location, materials, dimension, installation, and fabrication. Next. So we go to the as-built drawing and record, which is a setup as-built drawing. For the first, there are updates are collected and recorded by having digital access. Number 2 is drawing as part of project, which is to standardize a project administrator needs to establish particular procedure and protocols, which is number 3, collect some data through software. There are some tools such as laser scanning, building information, modeling, and connected construction data to capture any data and furniture construction. Number 4 is include photo progress, which is to get any accurate idea of what a project current facilities are like. Lastly is updates on renovation, which is it must be available and must be accessible from everywhere to have update. Next. So next is additional work, which is the definition is such as any addition or deletion from the initial scope, which is almost every construction project diverges from the intended scope, design, and description. So there are some process to handle it. So such as the project manager must be added papers to need to carry out and resulting the construction cost. If the contractor does not receive any confirmation from the customer within 10 days, it can terminate working on the project. If the contractor fails to inform the customer, he will revoke his right to seek any payment for it. Next is the urgent action in the best interest for the customer. If suspending operation may result in loss and harm. Lastly, after obtaining the customer approval and payment, the contractor has right to decline it. Next is scope in project, which is illustration, which is have 5 steps, which is illustration to the design, qualities, working condition, and the sequence of work. All these scope are used by the management project include Logic Interior Company. So that's all from us. Thank you.